Julie Hancock's whistle is like the school bell. She trains assistance dogs on her farm in Parongia, just out of Te Awamutu.
The Doug and Barbie. Way you go, way you go.
Over the past 10 years, she's trained over 100 dogs for the Royal New Zealand Foundation of the Blind.
No, wait, you know the rules.
Recently, she started training assistance dogs for other disabilities.
I spent 10 years with Guide Dog Services working for them, and during that time, I suppose, I came across blends of meeting other people that had disability. So when you meet people with other disabilities that you can see, you know, a dog could do something there, but there's nowhere for those people to go. It kind of hits where it hurts, I suppose. There you go.
But there's no funding for breeding and training assistance dogs. So Julie's resorted to buying puppies on the cheap, from places like Trade Me. Getting started is much the same as training other helper dogs. It takes about 6 months.
As a person, humans have more micro-expressions. A dog has like 5 facial expressions, so they're honest, they're up front. So for an autistic child, it's very easy to read a dog's face by comparison to your face and mine. And I think even in that way, it can help a child start to connect with something. Good boy.
Julie's trained 2 assistance dogs so far, and she's about to place Doug, a black lab, with the Jackson family in Auckland.
Well, this is the last of the gluten-free bread, so you've got to get some more. It's sitting at the, down in the village for him, okay?
Today, is it?
Yes.
10-year-old Jesse Jackson is at the high end of the autistic spectrum. As a toddler, he could speak, but Jesse's been non-verbal for the last few years. When Jesse was diagnosed with autism, parents Grant and Belinda explored a range of treatments. So far, they reckon it's cost around $300,000, but it's hard to quantify the benefits.
When we first decided that we were going to go for it and just do what we can, we're going to beat this thing, and we first started with the ABA, we put a house in the market just up the road and sold it. And basically, you know, the difference between that place and this place we've spent on therapy and interventions, and when that money ran out, we maxed the credit cards out, and then when we got to that point, it was kind of like, well, we had to let it go. Pull it up, pull. Jesse, do it properly, please. Put your foot down. Put your socks on.
Training assistance dogs in New Zealand has only just started, and Julie is one of the first to do it.
Foot flat, please.
Yo,
I think it was just Julie's enthusiasm and also the fact that she'd had this experience with guide dogs for the blind that sort of gave us that reassurance.
Julie does the basic training in Parongia. The next step is training the family in Auckland. It's a labour of love.
It's coming into a new home, I suppose. I'm a guest, I'm a visitor, I've been invited in. I think that's always a privilege. And from there, I suppose, my first goal is allowing people to see me as much as possible, allowing them to ask questions and get to know me, not just on I suppose, a superficial level, but something more about me.
Jesse and Doug have been together for a week now. It'll take a while for Jesse to bond with Doug, but the first signs are promising.
Come on, Doug, go. Doug, come on. Okay. Yeah, so straight on. Come on. Come on.
So a week has been a pretty short time, I guess, to get to know a dog. What's happened over the time?
The sort of getting to know Doug, I mean, it's just happened very naturally. I mean, he's just not work at all. He's very affectionate. He does what he's told. It's not been hard work in that department. The dog hasn't been hard work. What has been hard work for me is just to change my way of thinking and doing things and trusting that Doug will do and knowing that he'll do, but just allowing myself to go with it, you know, not to worry.
What about Jess?
Jess said his name as soon as he saw him, which is pretty good really, something we haven't heard for a long time speaking. And it was very smooth, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was very smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's pretty amazing. I mean, how long has it been since he spoke before that?
Oh, years. Several years.
Up your space and that's
Come on,
it.
let's go.
Come on, there.
Let's go.
Good boy.
Come on, Dougie,
Careful,
let's go.
He's got resistance going on, so he's resisting.
Okay.
So you just need to work with Doug.
Okay,
It's,
come
The dual harness is for Doug to help restrain Jesse and make sure he doesn't wander.
Let's go.
When Doug feels tension, he's trained to resist.
excellent.
Good boy, Dougie.
Good.
Coming out. Good boy, Dougie. Sit.
First.
Good boy. Good boy. Good boy.
Well done.
Well done, Dougie. Well done.
In many ways, the dog is kind of working for two people. The dog needs to be able to respond to the child's needs in terms of interrupting, perhaps stimming, which is a kind of self-stimulation sort of movement, comforting, and just basically really being a friend to that child. So there's that facet of it, and then for the mother, there's also the area where you need the dog to be doing what the mum says. You definitely need this dog to be making life no more difficult than it has been. And this time, bend your knees down. That's it.
When Julie works with the family, her job is to train the parent, who will take responsibility for the dog. So Belinda is taught how to handle Doug.
So what I want you to do is extend your lead. All right, give him the wait command. Wait. Good. Take a couple of steps back. All right, and then you're going to call him and you're going to make it sound really happy and positive. And then just call him towards you. Okay? Come on, Doug. Come on. That's it. Good boy. Good boy. When you're out and about in public, you need to have those, the sits, the stays, the downs, and your kind of heel, if you like, to everything else branches out from them. So they are the basics and they've got to be right. And then you can move on to the other stuff. You think of it? No, it's Doug's. It's Doug's. No, Dougie, Doug.
With Julie, she gets on really well with him, and you just feel like she kind of gets the needs, and it just makes you feel better about it.
Yeah, it's a passion. She's doing it because she wants to do it. It's not because she's going to make it.
Yeah, it's not vocation.
It's not it's vocational. And it has to be like that because these kids, you know, they're very black and white. They're literal. They don't like you, they're going to show it. And you yourself, you just don't want to be patronised.
When you see an assistance dog and it looks like it's doing nothing, everything's going really well, we're doing things right, this is good, you know, that's exactly what we want. If your assistance dog's working and doing its thing and your child's happy and mum's relaxed, then really we've got to where we're wanting to go.
Forward.
Good.
Good boy,
Nice.
Dougie. Good boy.